tutorial series of the wireless communication. I am your instructor Varsha Ta. Let's start our today's lecture series. So at the end of this video, you will be able to learn about what is rake receiver. Then we will see what is Doppler shift and the example related to the Doppler shift. So first of all, let's learn about the rake receiver. Okay, what is rake receiver? In last lecture also we have discussed about the rake receiver in the space diversity. So what is rake receiver? So the dictionary meaning of the rake is what? The rake is what? It is the to gather or to collect something. Okay, so gather or collect together something. So and actually it is a garden tool to collect the leaves. What is rake? It is a garden tools to collect the leaves. So but in the terms of the computer network, how we can define the rake receiver? Okay, so but in the terms of the computer network, it is for the purpose of the collecting signals. Okay, its meaning is collecting. So here we are collecting the signals from the multiple paths arriving at the receiver and usually spatially in the CDMA cellular system. So in last lecture we have learned about the diversity techniques. So all of you know that the diversity, that means what? We are following a different diversity. We are collecting the signal at the receiver side. So how we can collect the signal? So it's used specifically in the CDMA system to collect the signals at the receiver side. A rake receiver is a radio receiver which is designed for the purpose of the counter the effect of the multipath fading. So whatever the effect of the multipath fading, that will be countered by the rake receiver. Due to the reflections from the multiple obstacles in the environment, the radio channel can consist of the multiple copies of the transmitted signal that we have learned in the previous lecture, that we are sending the multiple copies of the transmitted signal based on the frequency diversity, based on the space diversity, etc. It's having the different amplitude phases or the delay. So if we are sending it, each and every signals have the different amplitude because we are sending it on the different frequency, we are sending it at different time, different phases are there and different delays are there. A rake receiver can resolve this issue and combine them. So for this purpose, several sub receivers are used which are known as the fingers. Okay, so we are using the several sub receivers that are known as the fingers. And the idea of this rake receiver that is proposed by the Price and Green. When the transmitter transmits the signal, then it travels through the environment, which consists of the various obstacles. That is the, if there is a multipath propagation is there, various obstacles are there, building is there, trees are there, numbers of obstacles are there in between the transmission. Okay, so and the transmitted signal is reflected by them and is received by the rake receiver from the multiple path. Okay, so we are transmitting the multiple signals and it will be received by the rake receiver. Okay, so rake receiver then feeds them to the different fingers, that is different correlators are there, and the delays in each received signals are compensated and are fed to the combiner. That is known as the integrator and the comparator, which combines them suitably with the different appropriate time delays. So the work of the rake receiver is what? It will feed the signals to the combiner, that is integrator and comparator, which combines them suitably with the different appropriate time delays. So here you can see the task of this rake receiver that is defined over here in this figure. So here you can see the rake receiver is there, that is collecting the signals from the different signals. It collects it and it will given it to the correlator, and that correlators will give the signals to the combiner, and that integrator is there, and then the signals will be received by the receiver. Now what are the applications of this? So compensates with the multipath fading occurring in the CDMA and the WCDMA. Advantage that improve the efficiency and the performance. Okay, and it improves the SNR. SNR, that means signal to noise ratio, that is improved by the this rake receiver. Then disadvantage is what? It increase the cost of whole system because you require multiple correlator, makes the system more complex because correlator is there, comparator is there, and the integrator is there, so it makes the system more complex. Now let's learn about the Doppler shift. What is Doppler shift? So generally it happens in the small scale fading. We have already learned about the fading, what is fading and which are the different types that is based on the small scale fading. So what is fading? We have learned all this topic also in the previous lecture. Fading, that means what? Any unwanted signal, that is known as the fading. Any interference in the signal, that is known as the fading. Noise in the signal, that is known as the fading. And generally it becomes based it happens based on the multipath signals, because multipath signals, some will travel from the line of sight transmission, some will travel from the different path. In that path they have the obstacles like building, like trees, so the signals may be diffracted, signals may be reflected. Okay, so scattering and diffractions may occur. Okay, so multipath signals are there. So factors affecting the small scale fading, that is the multipath propagation is there, speed of mobile is there, speed of surrounding object is there, and again the most important, the transmission bandwidth, which type of bandwidth, which frequency bandwidth you are using. Okay, so these are the factors that affect the small scale fading. And one of the most factor that affect the small scale fading that we are learning, that is the Doppler shift. Okay, so what is the Doppler shift? When vehicle is moving, that means when the mobile is moving from the transmitter to the transmitter or away from the transmitter, then there is a different Doppler shift. Okay, so in mobile is moving with the velocity v from antenna A to then what will happen? Then the phase change in the received signal. The signals that will be received by the mobile, that is defined by delta phi, that is equal to 2 pi delta I divided by lambda, where delta is equal to v delta t cos theta. This is the formula that is given, that we have to remember. Change in the frequency is given by f is equal to 1 upon 2 pi into delta t upon 2 pi into delta phi upon delta t. And here again the f is equal to v cos theta upon the lambda. Okay, so this is the Doppler shift formula. Now here let's learn. Here you can see how the Doppler shift will become when in the light waves are there. Okay, so here this is showing the Doppler shift. So in light wave, a change in the wavelength due to the expansion of the space would result in the shift in the frequency that exactly maintains the velocity of the light. Okay, so when the signal, when the mobile, when the receiver, or when we can say when the vehicle is coming towards the transmitter, that Doppler shift is high, and when it is moving away from the transmitter, then it is low. Now let's see when the user is stationary, that means change in the perceived frequency due to the relative motion. So at that time the Doppler shift is same. Here you can see. Okay, static source is there. If the static source is there, then the no Doppler shift is there. The signals will come at the same frequency at they are transmitted. Okay, and when the user is moving, okay, so when the user is moving, here you can see the frequency shifted, that is lower, and here the frequency shifted, that is higher, because the user is moving towards the transmitter. That's why. Now let's see one example related to this Doppler shift. So, and let's first see the aim. What is the example? An aircraft is heading towards a control tower with the 500 km per hertz and the elevation of the 20 degree. Communications occurs at the 900 megahertz. Then we have to find out the Doppler shift. Okay, so let's see the solutions for this. Here the velocity that is given to you, that is 500 km per hour. So you should have to convert it into the meter per second, because it is given in the 500 km per hour. So you should have to convert it in the meter per second. So whenever you will convert this kilometer and hour, then kilometer in the meter and hour in the seconds. So you will get the answer 138.88 meter per seconds. Theta is given, that is 20 degree. Here you can see the at an elevations of the 20 degree. So theta is given, that is 20 degree. Now all of you know C is equal to F lambda. Okay, so lambda is equal to, we can define the C by lambda. The value for the C, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8, and divided by F. F is what? 900 megahertz. That is also given in the our A. So if 900 megahertz is there, we have to convert it in the hertz. So 900 into 10 raised to 6. So whenever you will calculate this, you will get the answer 0.33 meter. Now the Doppler shift, how we can calculate? So you can calculate the Doppler shift using the formula, F is equal to V cos theta upon lambda. Okay, so V is what? 138.0.8 that we have seen in the last slide into cos theta. Cos theta, that is 20 angle. So cos 20 is that, divided by lambda we have find out, so 0.33 is that. So whenever you will put the value of the cos 20 and you will calculate this, you will get the answer 390 Hertz. So Doppler shift will be occurred at the 390 Hertz. Now let's see the second example. Consider a transmitter which radiates the sinusoidal carrier frequency of the 1850 MHz for a vehicle moving at the 60 meter per hour. Okay, so compute the received carrier frequency if the mobile is moving directly toward the transmitter, directly away from the transmitter, and in the direction which is perpendicular to the direction of the arrival of the transmitted signal. So let's see the solution for this. So here in the given carrier frequency is given to you, that is FC, that is 1850 megahertz is given to you. So we can find out the wavelength because lambda is equal to C by F. So you can find out the wavelength and you can put the value 3 into 10 raised to 8 divided by F, that is 1850 megahertz is given. So 1850 into 10 raised to 6, and whenever you will calculate this, you will get the answer 0.162 meter. Now vehicle speed that is given, that is velocity is given to you, that is 60 meter per hour, that is equal to 26.82 meter per second. Okay, now A, first let's find out the A. So the vehicle is moving directly towards the transmitter. Now the Doppler shift in this case is a positive. The received frequency is given by the equation, that is F is equal to FC plus FD. Okay, so F is equal to FC plus FD. Now in place of FD you can put the formula, that is in place of FD you can put the formula, that is V upon lambda cos theta. Okay, so here cos 0 is that. Okay, so F is equal to FC plus FD, 1850 into 10 raised to 6 plus 26.82 divided by 0.162. We have all the value, so you can put that value in this and you will get the answer 1850 into 0.016 megahertz. Cos 0, that means 1. Okay, so you will calculate this. Now next is the vehicle is moving directly away from the transmitter. Okay, so the Doppler shift in this case is negative, and hence the received frequency is given by F is equal to FC minus FD. So FC minus V upon lambda cos theta. So here cos is 0. Okay, moving away from the transmitter, that's why F is equal to FC minus FD, and put the value in it. So 1850, that is FC, into 10 raised to 6 minus 26.82 divided by 0.162. So you will get the answer 1849.99834 megahertz. Now third possibility is the vehicle is moving perpendicular to the angle of the arrival of the transmitted signal. If perpendicular is that, that means what? The angle is at the 90 degree. Okay, so here in this case theta is equal to 90. So cos theta is equal to 0, and hence there is no Doppler shift is there. So the received signal frequency is the same as the transmitted frequency of the 1850 megahertz. Now let's see the another example. What is the Doppler frequency for the 1850 megahertz if the vehicle is moving at the 60 kilometer per hour? Okay, so here you can see the frequency is given to you, that is 1850 megahertz. Okay, so we can find out the lambda, where you can find out the wavelength, because the formula for the wavelength is lambda is equal to C by F. Here C is constant, F value is given, so just put that value in this formula. So C is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 divided by 1850 into 10 raised to 6, because we are converting megahertz into hertz, that's why. And whenever you will calculate this, you will get the answer 0.162 meter. Now FC is equal to V upon lambda. Okay, so 60 V, that is what? The 60 kilometer per hour, that velocity is given to you. So 60 divided by 0 into 162. So you will get the answer 370 into 37 hertz. Okay, so these are the example related to the Doppler shift. So in this video we have learned about what is the rake receiver, and then we have learned what is the Doppler shift. We have already learned about the fading. Okay, so fading is based on the Doppler shift also and the spread also, and we have learned about the different examples of the Doppler shift. So this is all about this lecture. Remaining interesting topic we will cover in the next lecture. Thank you for watching. We will meet in the next lecture with a new topic. Thank you.